Okay. Hello, hello. I say okay every single time. It's so annoying. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am talking about, yesterday I did a video on like Disneyland because I'm kind of doing like a comparison or whatever, just because I didn't really know what to talk about. This is like the end of my California series, I guess. Oops. Shit. So now I'm talking about Disney World. So Disney World is in some ways obviously similar to Disneyland because, Disney parks, similar rides, stuff like that, but also light years different. Like, with Disney World, you have a huge amount of resorts that you can stay at. You have your value level resorts, which are, a lot of them are very, like, themed. Honestly, I feel like the value resorts are really good for families with younger kids, partly because they're going to be a little bit cheaper, actually quite a bit cheaper in some cases. But they also are they're really themed. Like, we stayed at the All-Star Resorts one time when Lucas was little, when we went for his birthday trip, because he was obsessed, he actually still kind of is, obsessed with Fantasmic. And they have a Fantasmic pool, like a Fantasia. I have like a Fantasia section, so they have like the Fantasia pool. And I knew Lucas would love it, so we stayed there. And like they have tons of theming, like big giant like statues of Disney characters and like just all sorts of it's very, very heavily themed, which is really good for like younger kids and like families and stuff like that. And then they have the moderate resorts, which if you are a family of 5, you have no choice but to stay at least at a moderate, because the deluxe does not. Why did I do that? What made me think that that was acceptable behavior? The deluxe resort, or the moderate resorts. Oh my gosh. Value resorts only hold families of 4 unless you stay in a family suite at the Art of Animation, which is basically the same price as either a value or deluxe. I mean, a moderate or deluxe, so why would you do that? I mean, some people really like them, so I guess go ahead if you want to, but I don't know. Anyway, please don't kill me. Oh, it's gonna kill me. It killed me. So, and then you have your moderate resorts, which are the next level up. These hotels have pools, and no, they all have pools. All the hotels have pools. Every single one on Disney property. These pools have slides, and they have still like cafeteria style, like not cafeteria style, but like cafe dining. Well, I guess cafeteria style, where like it's a quick service and you walk up and that's where you get your food. And so that's how those work. That same thing with Value. Value has like a cafe. Oh, and another difference with Disneyland, or with Disney World, that Disneyland does not have, that I'm aware of, maybe they do, but I don't think that they do, is Disneyland, or Disney World, has refillable mugs, where you buy this mug for I think it's like around $25 or so. And now this is something that comes free. Like back when Disney World had the dining plan, these would come free with the dining plan. Now they don't have the dining plan anymore, but they do still have these mugs, and you can buy them, and you buy them one time for like $25 or something along those lines. I think they're $25 last time we went. And for the duration of your stay, you can refill them at your hotel, like in your little, because even the deluxe hotels have like little like quick service, like sort of like cafe style like dining like areas. And they all have like a fountain machine, like a fountain soda machine, but they also have like Powerade and lemonade and water and stuff. And you can refill these mugs as many times as you want throughout the day at these stations at your resort. Now, you cannot do it in the parks. You can't bring them to the parks and bring them to like a restaurant and refill them for free. But you can, oh my gosh. But you can refill them at your resort as much as you want. And honestly, they are amazing. Like, Lucas really loves the blue Powerade that they have there. And that kid will refill his thing, like before we go to the parks, when we go to the pool, with dinner. Like, it saves you a ton of money, honestly. It's really, really worth it. Like, you can fill it with water if you want to and just bring it in the parks with you to drink water. Like, honestly, it's super, super worth it in my professional opinion. I keep saying professional opinion. Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. And that to me is one of the best parts of Disney World for sure, is those mugs. And you can buy them, and you can refill them, and they're convenient, and I love them. And then, of course, you get to bring them home, too, so it's like, essentially, you know, free souvenir. Not a free souvenir at all, because it costs you money, but, you know what I mean. Free if you have the dining plan, I guess. And it's really cool. And I like it. But anyway, so you have all these different options for hotels at Disney World. And it is very nice to, sorry, I just want to wait. Okay, that works for me. But you have a lot of different, like, oh, and then, so the moderate ones have pools with the slides, but they still have, like, the cafe style, like, food option, in the moderate resorts. And usually you have to take a bus to the parks. Value, you take a bus, I think, for every single value. There may actually be a value now where you can take the Skyliner, but I don't remember if that's a value. You can do it or moderate. Moderate, you do have, sometimes you have other options, like, one of the resorts that we stayed at that was a moderate one time, you could take a bus, or I mean a boat to, I think you could only take the bus to downtown, or the boat to downtown Disney, or like Disney Springs, I think it's called now. And then there was, and then I think you can do the Skyliner, but for the most part, it's buses, unless of course you drive, then you can just drive yourself to the parks. And then the deluxe resorts all have sit-down restaurants in them, at least one sit-down restaurant. Sometimes they have multiple sit-down restaurants. Some of them you can take monorails to the parks, or to the parks, to some of the parks. Animal Kingdom, it's a bus, I think, every time. Possibly a boat if you stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge, I'm not sure, but I don't think it's a boat because I don't think there's water. But the deluxe resorts, you can take boats and Skyliners and monorail, and, you have, oh my gosh, you have more options, and it is very nice to have more options. And then, oh, wow. Road and uncalled for. And they all have pools with water slides there as well, which is always nice. But they do not have. They, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Oh, the deluxe resorts are obviously much, much more expensive. We stay deluxe pretty much every time we go to Disney World, because we love the monorail and we just love the convenience. But we've stayed moderate and we've also stayed value before as well, so it's not deluxe every single time, but we do prefer to stay deluxe if we can. But Disney World does also have the option of the Good Neighbor hotels. If, you just don't want to stay on property for whatever reason, maybe your family's too big, you need like a bigger suite, and they don't always have those options. Maybe you just want something cheaper, or you want a hotel with a free breakfast, or you're not only going to Disney World, and so you just kind of want to be off property. They do have Good Neighbor hotels that have free shuttles to the parks, and have, various perks still, because they're, considered, they're still considered a they're sort of considered a Disney hotel, I guess, but not fully, I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it. Like, you can't get the dining plan, and you can't make your dining reservations until 60 days as opposed to 180 or something like that, or 90, or... Why do I not know this? I'm a terrible travel agent. What is wrong with me? Anyway, but right now they're not offering fast passes anymore. Like, you have to pay for Genie Plus. They don't have the dining plan, and you have to make park reservations no matter what. So essentially, I don't really care as much about staying on property. So for our next trip, we are going with another family, and because that family was interested in staying off property, we are also staying off property. It's still like a good, a Good Neighbor hotel, and it looks, it looks nice. We're happy about it, but like, we're staying off property, and we've never done that before. And I've actually always been somebody who would only stay on property at Disney World because I didn't see the benefit of staying off property. But now that Disneyland or Disney World has taken away so many of the benefits of staying on property, I mean, I'm not saying that the kids and I will never stay on property, because of course we will. We love staying on property, but it's not as huge of a thing, Like, I mean, I guess we'll see what it's like to stay off property, because we have never actually stayed off property before. So we'll see if we like it or not when the time comes. We're not going until summer. But now, as far as, God, I've talked a lot about hotels. Like, as you can see, I could talk about Disney World for 19,000 videos and never get tired of it. So if you are watching this and you like to hear me talk about Disney World, let me know, because I know that I've done Disney World videos in the past. I'm sure that I have. But I will talk about Disney World as much as you want. So if you ever want to hear more about Disney World from me, say the word. Like, I will talk about Disney World forever, if you want, like, without a problem, happily. But anyway, so the rides at Disney World, Lucas seems to think that they're more geared towards children, whereas Disneyland is more geared towards older kids, which is mostly because Disneyland has the Incredicoaster. Like, literally, that's the only difference. And I think Lucas is forgetting that Disney World also has the Rock and Roller Coaster. But I think that it's because we went on more like roller coaster style rides on this trip, simply because I figured if we're going to wait in long lines for like literally 45 minutes to almost 2 hours, we're not going to do it for the teacups. Like, at Disney World, we'll wait in line for the teacups because the lines are going to be shorter. Not always, but mostly we're only going to wait in line for it if the lines are shorter. And we don't go to Disney World typically during a point where it's hugely crowded, because prior to this year, when I got the job that I have now, I would just take the kids out of school, or like the kids were virtual or whatever, and I wouldn't think twice about it. Now I obviously have to go only when I have time off work and when the kids have time off school, because now I have a big girl job. So I don't have a choice. But before, we would go at way less crowded times. So it was more of like a thing that we could do. But Disneyland, or Disney World, has Magic Kingdom Park, and there's a lot of rides there, and you know, when it comes to like the roller coaster style, they still have all the mountains. They have Space Mountain, they have Splash Mountain, they have Big Thunder Mountain. Splash Mountain is currently closed for refurbishment. It's going to be the same ride. Like, people are freaking out about it. Like, they don't seem to realize it's going to do the same thing. They're just reimagining it, they call it, to Tiana's something or another. So essentially, instead of being horribly racist, it's going to be themed after The Princess and the Frog, which is perfectly fine to me. I know that might be a hot take or whatever, but I don't see the issue. My only issue with it is that it's going to be closed when we go this summer, which sucks because Splash Mountain in the summer is a lifesaver. But you know, really not that big of a deal. But anyway, so we're going to, there's Splash Mountain, there's Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and there is, why would I do that? Why do I keep doing stupid things? And then there's Space Mountain. But then Disneyland has the Matterhorn bobsled, but Disney World also has Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So, you know. And then also, if you go to, you know, there's more parks. Like Disneyland has Disney World and then Disney California Adventures, whereas Disney World, you have Magic Kingdom Park, you have Animal Kingdom Park, which has multiple really fun rides. There's Expedition Everest, which is another mountain style, like roller coaster type ride. And then you have the rides in Avatar Land that the kids like. We have Dinosaur. Like, one of my kids literally just told me that they're pretty sure the Animal Kingdom is their favorite park at this point because last time we went on quite a few rides that we hadn't gone on there before, because it was a lot less crowded, so we had the time to go on these rides that we maybe had not had the opportunity to go on before, which was nice. And then there's Hollywood Studios, which to me, I used to think that Hollywood, which I think the kids actually would probably say Hollywood Studios might be their least favorite, not because there's anything wrong with it, but just because there's less rides. But they do have Slinky Dog Dash, which is a roller coaster that the kids love. Last time we went, I think we went on it like literally 4 times in a row because it's that short line, and so we just did. We went on it so much. And then they have these Star Wars, which it's funny because we've been to Galaxy's Edge now 2 different times, maybe 3. Could possibly be 3 times we've gone to Galaxy's Edge. And we have yet to ride any of the rides at Galaxy's Edge because the lines are always so insanely, ridiculously long. We almost went on one of them while we were in Disneyland because the line was super, super short for it. But by the time we got done with it, but by the time we would have made it to it, like, I think we would have been late for our dinner reservation or something. Like, we didn't have enough time to, I don't know, it was something. We didn't have enough time to get to something if we went to it. And so we ended up going on, like, something or another instead. And then by the time we got done with whatever it was that it was probably like a dining reservation or something, the line was hugely long again, so we didn't bother. But there is Galaxy's Edge, and from what I hear, the 2 rides there are fun. We haven't been able to do it. Maybe we'll try it next time. And then there's, oh my gosh, and then there's Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is brand new. We've only been on that once because it was brand new last time we went. And, I mean, for Hollywood Studios, we go on Star Tours every time because we really like Star Tours. But, like, Hollywood Studios has kind of always been more like shows. It's got a lot of shows. And like I said, now it does have quite a few more rides. Thanks to, oh my gosh, why am I just jumping off things? Thanks to the addition of Galaxy's Edge, Toy Story Land, and the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. But I mean, ride-wise, it's not like people always say that Hollywood Studios could be a half-a-day park. It's not for us. Simply because, like, I mean, I guess maybe if we did it for the second half of the day, like, Hollywood Studios is the park that if we want to sleep in and, like, swim in the morning, we're going to go to Hollywood Studios. You know what I mean? Like, that's the park that we're more likely to sleep in and maybe go there, like, after lunch. Which I feel like I did like maybe Holly and I did like a tier list thing where I talked about the parks, because I feel like I said this before already about Hollywood Studios, or maybe I just did it on my own. I know that for sure that I've done a video where I talked about the parks and stuff like that, so this is redundant and I'm repeating myself, but hey, whatever. Watch me anyway. But yeah, I definitely feel like with Hollywood Studios, because the reason that I say that you don't, or that you want to go in the evening versus like in the morning for Hollywood Studios is because, first of all, Toy Story Land and Galaxy's Edge both look amazing at night. Like the whole park, honestly, just comes to life at night. It looks so good. It is nice during the day too, so like you do want to go like mid to late afternoon if you're going to do it for half of a day, because you would much rather, like, you're going to want to see it during the day too just because it's cool, but then you at night, like, it's really nice. But also the other reason is because of Fantasmic. Fantasmic is their nighttime show, because every park has a nighttime show. Whether it's Disneyland, Disney World, every park has a nighttime show for all of them. And for Hollywood Studios, for Disney World, or for Disneyland Park, it is their fireworks. They have fireworks and castle projections, and that's just how it is. But for Hollywood Studios, oh, and for Animal Kingdom, I think they still have Rivers of Light, but I'm not 100% sure. But that is what they used to have. It was a nighttime show called Rivers of Light. But yeah, Hollywood Studios has Fantasmic, and it is worth going to Hollywood Studios for 100%. Especially because the one in Disneyland, is really nice, but it's not one of those where no matter where you sit, you get a good view. Like, I mean, you get a decent view, but like the one in Florida, the one at Disney World, it's like an amphitheater, but it's outdoor, so whatever. And no matter where you sit, you're gonna get a good view of it. Like, it's one of those where you're gonna get a good view, which is always nice. And it is Lucas's favorite show, and so we go every time if we can. Last time we went for the 50th anniversary of Magic Kingdom, and Fantasmic unfortunately was still not not available or whatever. I don't think available is the right word. It was not running because of COVID still at that point, but when we went to Disneyland, they brought it back, so that was good. But yeah, so it's like Fantasia essentially, but it's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's all of the good guys versus all of the bad guys, I guess. And it is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful show. Highly, highly recommend it. My children, my youngest child specifically, loves it. And he cannot say enough good things about it. Oh, okay. Well, that's pointless. Sorry, I'm saying again a lot. And food-wise, Disneyland or Disney World is, you know, it's theme park food. Oh, Epcot. That's what I was gonna say. Epcot is one of my favorites. Ride-wise, it's a little light. It is a little light on the rides. It does have one of my favorite things, which is you go on the Finding Nemo ride, and the ride is just, you know, mediocre. I mean, you know, no offense to Finding Nemo, but, you know, it's just like a typical ride through, you know, through the story of Finding Nemo. You know, it's whatever. Not the greatest, not the worst. Gosh darn it, I really wish I wouldn't have just done that. But when you come out of it, you are in what's called the Seas. And it is a giant aquarium. And I love aquariums. It's got all sorts of fish. It's got dolphins and sharks and you name it. And I love it very, very much. And that is really cool. But on top of that, Epcot has one of my favorite rides, which is Soarin'. And every single time I go on it, even though nothing about it changes, I love it just as much because it's just amazing. I love Soarin'. And so that's really cool. And then it has a very slow but fun boat ride in the Mexico Pavilion that we like to go on when we're there. Oh, okay. That was rude. Okay. All right. Just quit targeting me. And then there is, you know what? I'm gonna go back. There's the Frozen Ever After, maybe it's called. It's like a Frozen themed boat ride. It used to be something else. And people were, of course, mad when they changed it because people always get mad when you change everything at Disney World or Disneyland or any Disney anything. But I don't think anybody cares. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Epcot, I like walking around the World Showcase. There's all sorts of restaurants. I'm going to tell you right now, we have not even tried half of the restaurants at Disney World. Not even close. Like, we have our favorites. We tend to stick with them and go to them. But we also have started, like on our last trip, we decided to try, like, variations. Like, we decided, oh, you know, we're going to try restaurants that we haven't tried in the past. So that is what we tried this last time, and some of them were good, some of them were not so good, but it was still nice to try different varieties, and we enjoyed ourselves a lot. And yeah, so anyway, long story short, longer story, very long, I don't really know how you would say that. Disney World, I would not necessarily say that Disney World is better, but Disney World is the park that I know better, if that makes sense. Disneyland is tons of fun as well. We have fun no matter where we go. If you've never gone to a Disney park, you should. I highly recommend them. They are lots and lots of fun. I am going to end this video because it is already way too long. But again, if there's anything you want me to talk about Disney-wise, let me know. I could do an in-depth review on each park, which I feel like I've already done before, but I could do it again. I could talk more about the hotels that we've stayed at, which I also feel like I've done before. Check my channel, because I probably have a lot more story times where I talk about this kind of stuff. I'm not great at talking when it's just me and when I don't have like a quote-unquote script to go off of, but I do my best. So anyway, let me know what you think of this, and I will see you guys in the next one. I don't know if I'm going to record one more video or not. It really depends on if I can think of anything to talk about. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye! Oh, haha. Now bye.